so let's talk Christian McCaffrey. Let's go a little bit more of a deep dive into what his injuries were. So last season, the primary injury that caused him to miss a ton of time was Achilles tendinopathy, which is over that soleus muscle, which you see there. It actually is the tendon that connects those two gastroc muscles to the heel. And he ended up going over to Germany. It sounds like he had some stem cell treatment there. Stem cell treatment shows pretty good response to it, but the issue here is that there is a significant amount of injury recurrence risk as the load bearing goes on. So I do expect a good amount of load management in the latter part of the season. Let's talk about the PCL injury. So he ended up injuring that posterior cruciate ligament, and he ended up not having surgery on it. PCL injuries, they actually heal back pretty well. There isn't really any kind of significant risk of recurrence. So let's call that about a 5 to 10% risk of PCL instability that could affect him. Achilles tendinopathy, though, that's about a 30% chance of recurrence later on in the season. So I'm pretty worried about that. Now, we don't have too many player comps here that had Achilles tendinopathy that were high-level running backs, but we do have one, Arian Foster. So he had persistent Achilles tendinopathy throughout the course of the season. He ended up missing a couple games that season, but how did he do the following season? He actually ended up missing 4 games the following season. So that's pretty concerning to me. And in regards to Christian McCaffrey, that places him at a really high injury risk, in my opinion. So I talked before where I would take him, and I don't want to have him on my squad, to be honest, but if he's there after that 10th pick in the first round, then I'll likely pull the trigger on him. I'll pick up Elijah Mitchell as his handcuff, but I am going to definitely be trying to trade him around that midpoint of the season. Another thing we have to look at is CMC's age. He's over 28, so that places him, again, in an accelerated risk standpoint. His play style also places him at an increased risk. He places a lot off that mid-heel burst, places a lot of eccentric load. That really kind of stresses out that Achilles tendon. All in all, Christian McCaffrey, possible overall running back one without any kind of injury aggravation, but that injury risk is just so high, so you really have